Right now, someone is lying in bed, starting at the ceiling. The body is tired, but their mind refuses to stop. They replay the same conversation again and again and again. What if I said the wrong thing? What if they do not like me? What if I make the wrong decision tomorrow? One thought becomes two, two thoughts becomes 10, and before they even notice, their own mind becomes the loudest place on earth. Does this sound familiar? If it does, you are not alone. Millions of people fight this silent battle every single day. And the worst part is, nobody else can see it because overthinking does not leave scars on our body. It leaves them inside our mind. Most people think overthinking is just thinking too much, but that is not true. Overthinking is something much deeper. It quietly steals our peace, it steals our confidence, it steals our sleep, and something it even steals opportunities that never come back. The strange part is most people do not even know they are overthinking. They believe they are solving problems. They believe they are preparing for the future. They believe they are being careful. But in reality, their mind is running in circles without finding a way out. Imagine driving a car with one foot on the accelerator and the other foot on the brake. The engine keeps working harder, but the car barely moves. That is what overthinking feels like. Your mind works harder and harder, but your life does not move forward. Now ask yourself, how many opportunities have you missed because you waited for the perfect moment? How many messages did you never send? How many dreams did you never start? How many chances disappeared because your mind kept saying, what if something goes wrong? Sometimes the biggest obstacle in life is not the world around us. It is the voice inside our own head. But there is the biggest question, why human brain do this? Why does it keep creating problems even when noticing dangerous is happening? Why does one small mistake stay in our minds for days while happy moments disappear so quickly? Sir, is more surprising than most people think because your brain is not trying to make you happy. It is trying to keep you alive, and sometimes those two things are very difficult. In this video, we are going to discover what overthinking really is, why it feels impossible to stop, how it slowly changes your life without you even noticing, and most importantly, how we can finally take back control of your own mind. Because once you understand what is really happening inside your brain, you will never look at your thoughts the same way again. Have you even noticed that your mind becomes the loudest when everything around you is quiet? During the day, work, school, friends, and daily life keep your brain busy, but at night, when the world becomes quiet, your thoughts become louder. One simple memory can suddenly bring back an entire conversation. One small mistake can feel much bigger than it really was. One tiny problem can grow into something that feels impossible to solve. Not because your life changed, but because your mind kept feeding the same thought again and again. Here is something important. Your brain was built to protect you. Thousands of years ago, a human survived by looking for danger. A strange sound in the forest could mean a wild animal. A wrong decision could mean losing your life. People who noticed danger quickly had a better chance of surviving. The survival system still exists today, but the world has changed. Now the danger is usually not a wild animal. It's an email, an exam, a job interview, a text message, or a conversation you cannot stop thinking about. Your brain does not always know the difference. It reacts as if every problem is a life or death situation. That is why small worries can sometimes feel much bigger than they really are. Imagine holding a glass of water. It feels light. You can hold it for a minute without any problem, maybe even for 5 minutes. But what happens if you keep holding it for an entire day? Glass does not become heavier, but your arm becomes weaker. The pain grows not because the glass changed, but because you never put it down. Thoughts work the same way. A small worry is not always dangerous, but carrying it hour after hour, day after day, can slowly exhaust your mind. This is where many people become trapped. They believe, if I think about this a little longer, I will find the perfect answer. But overthinking rarely gives the perfect answer. Instead, it creates more. What if that happens? What if people judge me? What if I regret this later soon? One question becomes 10, 10 questions become 50, and your mind becomes lost inside its own maze. The truth is, life does not come with perfect certainty. No matter how much you think, you cannot predict everything, you cannot control every outcome, you cannot prevent every mistake, and that is difficult for the human brain to accept because the brain loves certainty. When it cannot find certainty, it keeps searching. Even when there is no answer to find, think about all the energy you have spent worrying about things that never actually happened, the interview that went well, the message that received a kind reply, the meeting that was not as scary as you imagined, the future that turns out very differently from the one you feared. Most of the battles that happen inside your mind never happen in real life. So if overthinking does not protect us, why does it feel so powerful? Why does it keep pulling us back, even when you know it is hurting us? Because overthinking gives us a false feeling of control. It makes us believe that if we keep thinking, we are making progress. But thinking is not always the same as moving forward. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop searching for the perfect answer and take the first small step. But overthinking does not only affect your thoughts, it changes your sleep, your confidence, your relationship, and even the way your brain makes decisions. And that is where the real danger begins. Overthinking does not begin by destroying your life, it begins by stealing small pieces of it. One hour becomes two, one sleepless night becomes a habit, one missed opportunity becomes a deep regret, and before you realize it, you are no longer living your life. You are only thinking about it. Think about the last time you wanted to do something important. Maybe you wanted to start a business, apply for a new job, talk to someone you liked, learn a new skill, or follow a dream you had for years. What happened if you take the first step? Or did your mind begin asking question? What if I fail? What if people lie to me? What if I am not good enough? What if I make a mistake? One question becomes another, then another until you did nothing to all. This is the cruel trick of overthinking. It makes doing nothing feel faster than taking action. But there is a hidden cost. Every opportunity you avoid teaches your brain to avoid the next one too. Slowly, your comfort zone becomes smaller, your fear becomes bigger, and your confidence becomes weaker, not because you are weak, but because fear grows when it is never challenged. Now let us talk about sleep. Your body is exhausted, your eyes are heavy, you switch off the lights, everything is quiet, but suddenly your brain decides now is the perfect time to remember every embarrassing moment for the last 10 years, every mistake, every regret, every possible problem that has not even happened yet. Instead of resting, your brain starts another conversation with itself. Sleep is supposed to hold your mind, but overthinking steals that chance. The next morning you wake up tired, you struggle to focus, small problems feel much bigger, your patterns become shorter, and because you are already tired, your brain becomes even more likely to overthink again. It becomes a cycle. Overthinking also changes the way you make decisions. Imagine standing at a crossroads. One path feels exhausting, the other feels safe. A healthy mind looks at both options, make a decision and move forward. But an overthinking mind keeps standing still. What if I choose the wrong path? What if the other one was better? What if I regret this forever? Minutes become hours, hours become days, sometimes days becomes years. The truth is every decision in life comes with uncertainty. Nobody knows the future, not the richest person, not the smartest scientist. The difference is successful people do not wait for perfect certainty. They accept that mistakes are part of life. They move forward anyway. There is another danger that very few people talk about. Overthinking can damage relationships without a single argument. You begin reading too much into every message. They replied late. Maybe they are angry. They use fewer words. Maybe they do not like me anymore. Most of the time, none of these thoughts are true, but your brain treats them as facts, and feeling created by imagination can become stronger than reality itself. The hardest part is that overthinking does not always sound negative. Sometimes it sounds responsible, careful, smart. It tells you, I am only trying to protect you. But protection becomes a prison when fear controls every decision, because the goal of life is not to avoid every mistake. The goal is to keep moving forward even when you feel uncertain. So, if overthinking steals our peace, our confidence, our sleep, your relationship, and your future, can you really break free from it? Or will your own mind always stay one step ahead of you? The answer might surprise you, because the way out is not about thinking more, it is about learning when to stop. In the final part, we will discover how to take back control of your mind, why action is stronger than fear, and the simple truth that can completely change the way you think. What if the biggest problem was never you thought? What if the real problem was believing that you had to believe every single one of them? Here is the truth. Your mind creates thousands of thoughts every single day. Some are useless, some are creative, some are completely meaningless, and some are simply fear. The goal is not to stop thinking. The goal is to stop letting every thought control your life. Imagine standing beside a busy road. Hundreds of cars drive past. You notice them, but you do not chase every car. You let them pass. Thoughts work the same way. You can notice a thought without following it. You can let it pass without allowing it to become your future. Not every thought deserves your attention, and not every fear deserves your beliefs. Many people spend years waiting to feel ready, ready to start, ready to speak, ready to change, ready to follow their dream. But there is something life teaches again and again. Confidence does not come first, action comes first. Confidence grows after you take the first step, not before. Think about a child learning to walk. They fail again and again. Nobody calls them a failure. Nobody expects perfection. They simply stand up and try one more time. Now ask yourself, why do adults accept perfection from themselves? Why do we believe that making one mistake means we should stop trying? Growth has never been perfect, and it never will be. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be a risk. There will always be moments when you do not know what will happen next. That is not weakness, that is life. The people you admire the most are not fearless. They simply refuse to let fear make every decision. One day you will look back at your life and you will not remember every worry, every sleepless night, every imaginary conservation. You will remember the change you took, the people you loved, the place you visited, the moments when you choose courage instead of fear. That is what truly shapes our life, not endless thinking, but meaningful action. So the next time your mind tells you, what if everything goes wrong? Ask it another question. What if everything goes right? What if this decision changed my life? What if this is the opportunity I have been waiting for? Sometimes one small action can achieve more than 1,000 hours of worrying. Remember this, your mind is a powerful tool, but it was never meant to become your prison. You do not have to fight every thought, you do not have to solve every possible future, and you do not have to be perfect to move forward, because life rewards action, not endless hesitation. The moment you stop waiting for perfect certainty is the moment your real life begins. Before you go, if you find this video helpful, if you learned something new, or if it changed the way you think about overthinking, please support this channel by giving this video a like. If you enjoy this type of content, subscribe to the channel and turn on notification so we do not miss the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support and thank you for spending your time here. I will see you in the next video. Take care.